Now, I'm going to do something interesting. This is going to be done first from two positions, and then I'm going to do a second thing for you. The first is this. I'm going to go straight on, and then I'm going to angle. And then I'm going to take a different character, and I'm going to do it just in one shot. Okay? Here's the first one. Now, I'm going to try and do the same thing from a different angle. Now here's your other example. Now what am I doing? Okay, this is mime. There's no words exchange. I mean, I would actually have words in a lines or something of that nature, but this is mime. What am I actually doing? I'm working in the foreground. The first example is called the general. The general is someone who is on a throne listening to his advisors, who is then talking to a peasant that annoys him. Okay? And this can be done anywhere at any time, anywhere in life. It doesn't even matter what the script is. You can do these types of pantomimes. The second one is an elf in a tree. Now the primary thing I'm doing is I'm playing with the focal point of the camera, the viewpoint of the person. And what I am doing is working in the front of the stage. I'm not upstaging everybody. I'm believing that everything and everyone is behind me. And I am the foreground. So I am being the foreground. This is the first understanding of what is called I am the star. There are 3 points. I am the star, I am the superstar, and I am the grand superstar. This is from monster work. This is what you do when you're in a rubber suit. This is what you do when you are the villain in a film. You want the viewer to understand your importance, but you don't want to upstage the entire cast. So you're not doing this with any dialogue. You're not doing it with any projection. You're not trying to sit there and say, I am the best, so this is this. Okay? You are trying to present a play from a position of angles. So what you are doing is you are sitting on the front of the stage with the entire play happening behind you. And some of the things can cross through the perspective. Some things go from the background through your foreground to another foreground, creating a further depth. Okay? So you have to kind of understand that perspective. Because you're playing in the foreground, You're sitting there letting everything take place in the background behind you, and you're not upstaging anybody, but you are being front stage. Now, the purpose of this is to create a commanding performance and a commanding stage presence. Now, what you have is I am the star. This is the basic simple of I am a character and I am doing something in the foreground. And it's light, laid back, simple, easy. And it doesn't matter where the camera is. I don't have to have a close-up. I'm not adjusting the focus on my camera to do a close-up. The camera could be behind me for all the difference it makes. It's more the attitude of the performer themselves to understand you are sitting on the front of the stage. You have to take in the concept into your head. You're just sitting on the front of a stage and everything is happening behind you and it's enjoyable and everyone's having their fun and everyone's having their time in the sun. And that's what it is. It's sitting in the foreground and being the front. Now, being the superstar is the understanding that if you're a monster, if you're a villain, you're automatically the star. So being a superstar means you have to perform a little bit more accentuated to bring more things out forward so that you are always on center stage and always on front stage. And when you understand that concept, you're trying to bring everything out as a monster. You're trying to bring everything out as a villain. And this way, the viewer sees everything from a perspective of, yeah, that monster suit scares me because of the way he's performing in it, not because it's a rubber suit with a zipper up the back. Okay? There's a difference between walking around going, "Ugh," and walking around going, "Ah!" You know, I mean, there's a very big difference to it. So you have to take it from that perspective. Now, Grand Superstar. This is high mime. What this is you're in a monster suit, and you are a monster. And it can pretty much only be performed by monsters. Now, the point to Grand Superstar is you're not just a monster, you're not just in a rubber suit. You're trying to move like you were not a human. You're trying to move like something else. This would be an example of Grand Superstar. It's a rear. It's not something a human would do. So you have to look at it from a perspective of what is your monster and how many different ways can your monster move. I did an excessive amount of this type of work. We did a production, which I'm going to only just sort of touch on right now. I'm going to really talk about it in another film, where I was several different monsters and which I moved in almost unnatural ways so that I was literally performing like the monster itself would perform. And it brought to life a thing that is just unparalleled. I mean, doing pirouettes across a stage because you have more than 1 feet. These kinds of things. And it's just took it over the top. The whole world knows exactly what I'm talking about. In Russia, they're laughing right now because they have a secret that you don't even know. But we'll get to that in another video. But that's the presentation. You have to think from mime to a greater mime to an extensive mime.